want you to know I appreciate your cooperation here today. We're going to be chewing on your testimony for months.
Sure.
But now to the part that, frankly, I am really excited to hear about. Back to Earth. And just to be clear, there are like 9 engineers with their ears pressed against that door. So, you know, be specific.
Before he left, Royce unlocked and readied both ships using the computer on his armor. I don't know if he could have done more, or if he just didn't care to. But he responded to me as though I were one of the hunters. Everything. Some things made sense out of practicality. Others I figured out through trial and error. Time was difficult to judge there, but I slept several times as I worked it out. It's funny how simple it must be for them. So many controls had images and holograms. I don't think the hunters are very smart.
What do you mean?
We saw so many of them. Big ones, man-sized ones, but all hunters. No mechanics or techs. No one ever performed maintenance. If something broke, they abandon it. I think it all works for them, but they don't know how it works.
Would you fuck off? That's been a running theory of ours. Please, continue.
I found a planetary directory and just spent hours going through it until I found Earth. I grabbed my supplies and started pushing buttons in the directory until the ship rumbled, and then I sat down and prayed. I don't know how long I was on the ship. Long enough to go through my food, but not long enough to starve to death. It was quiet. I spent my time sleeping soundly for the first time. I don't know how long. I woke up once and it was Earth, huge and blue. The ship wanted a landing zone, but I couldn't read the locations, so I chose at random.
Sounds like you got lucky.
I guess.
Well, that about covers it. I just want to say, you've been through a horrible ordeal, but the OWLF thanks you for your assistance.
Good.
If you want to be of any more help, there are interested parties who are impressed with how you handled yourself, who could use your unique skills to continue the fight.
I'm ready to go home. I'm not interested in working for America.
They're not strictly American. Let's say they're an international response team. Here's my card. That number there is my personal cell number should you change your mind.
I'll think about it. Goodbye, Agent Keyes.
So tell me about Royce.
What do you want to know?
He got a last name?
I never asked.
Why do you think you and Royce were the only survivors?
Killing doesn't keep you alive. We infiltrate, complete the mission, and get out. We were trained to survive, not to butcher civilians.
You two sound chummy. How did you earn his trust so quickly?
I didn't at first. It was very difficult to earn his trust. He worked with us because it was tactically advantageous. He saw us as disposable.
How do you know that?
When we were trying to identify the enemy, he used us as bait to lure them out. Someone died.
Why would you want the trust of a man like that?
Look at the list I gave you. Do you see a lot of trustworthy men? I knew he was my best shot at getting out alive. And I was right.
How did Royce help you get off the planet?
We killed the aliens that were hunting us, but we were injured. We grew close while we hid to recuperate. I think we would have left together if they hadn't marked him.
Marked him? How?
He killed the hunters, survived for so long. So they gave him armor.
Clip 5. 56. Move! 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 Bomb disarmed.
It's September 12th, 1987. My name is Major Alan Schaefer, also known as Dutch, U.S. Army veteran, Special Ops Commander, and the only survivor of the Valverde incident. These tapes are my personal testimony. Insurance. Should anything happen to me, what I found won't be lost. My team was brought in to rescue a Guatemala cabinet minister and his aide, who had been captured by guerrilla forces in Valverde. We located the downed helicopter, and the skinned bodies of those aboard hung. After assaulting their camp, it became clear that the mission was a setup. American intelligence had sent us to retrieve the captured agents who had been on recon for future military action. But none of that matters, because while we were clearing out the guerrillas, something was hunting us. An invisible killer tracked us as we made our way to the extraction point. In 24 hours, it wiped out my entire team. Rick Hawkins, Blaine Cooper, Mac Elliott, Billy Soul, Jorge Ramirez, and Al Dillon. The best soldiers I've ever known. Men I trusted with my life were butchered like animals. It was a nightmare. We walked in with guns, but it had perfect camouflage, advanced weaponry, and could see heat. It was strong and smart, a pitiless hunter. I waited, I watched, and when I understood it, when I saw how it hunted, I killed it. As it lay dying, in a final fuck you, it activated an explosive device. I barely escaped that blast. My radiation sickness and the crater of the explosion are the only evidence it ever was here. I've given my official statement to Agent Peter Keyes of the OWLF, but it's become clear I needed to investigate Valverde myself. Keyes was thorough, but he asked all the wrong questions. I mean, we have proof of alien life, but that life sees us as game. It's an alien whose first contact with humanity was to hunt us for sport. All Keyes cared about was the technology lost in the explosion. He can see the jungle for the trees. I see the threat. He sees the opportunity. Spies are all the same. I mean, we aren't people to them. We are assets. How many soldiers would he feed to those monsters just for a chance to steal from them or to learn from them? The government can't be trusted. So I will have to do this on my own. I'm cutting my treatment short and going off the grid. I will make my way back to South America to Valverde. I was told that there were stories about demons who make trophies of man. I'd like to hear those stories. April 8th, 1991. I'm not dead yet. I'll admit, I regret not curing my radiation sickness before I left. It made leaving the country difficult. I cashed in a few favors, took one too many off-the-book flights in rusted-out buckets, but I made it back to Valverde. The area was on lockdown, sealed by American intelligence for study. The complex centered on a crater from the alien self-destruction. I found the scientists slumming in a local bar. A few drinks, a couple of threads later, he was ready to talk. It wasn't much, barely anything I didn't already know. The blast emitted a form of radiation they'd never seen before. Some believed it was extraterrestrial, some didn't. Either they're not too bright, or there's nothing to find. I decided to let them keep searching in vain. It kept them busy and off my trail. I've been touring villages and small towns using the cover of an author writing about South American folklore. I don't know if any of them bought in, but they took my money and told their stories. The closer they were to the jungle, the more stories.
So tell me